Suni will be joining NASA astronaut Nick Hague in preparation for
Nick, we're good with
preparing the alpha magnetic spectrometer for future upgrades. And what they will do once they arrive to that payload, it's a particle physics detector that looks for dark matter and antimatter and missing matter from a module attached just to the outside of the International Space Station. And this is the first of several planned upgrades for this spectrometer, and that'll include upgrading the additional radiators for heat rejection and a silicon tracker layer that'll also significantly increase the data acceptance of the alpha magnetic spectrometer, or AMS, as you're hearing over the communications between the two astronauts and the ground teams here inside the International Space Station Flight Control Room. Now 2 hours and 59 minutes into today's EVA.
Because I have no pride, the green hook goes at the end of the red reel, correct?
Green hook goes, yes, to your red reel.
Making sure. Yeah.
And that's affirmed, Sunny.
Good check.
Okay, green hook is on the red reel.
Copy, green hook.
Jess, I'm ready for those specifics.
Okay, Nick, the first location, we want you to take photos towards the ACC cable underneath the AMS.
Okay. A little bit of a tough angle, but I see the bottom of the ACC cable.
Copy. After that, we'll have you take pictures of the current patch panel config, the lacing config, and then views along the future power cable routing location. So it's basically lower AMS handrail aft towards the UMA connector panel, towards the other connector panel.
Okay. More.
All right. Yes, I'm at the CETA cart. Over CETA cart.
All right, copy, Sunny. Since we couldn't get the APFR out of that WIFX earlier, we're actually going to have you install the APFR that you have into WIF 4, and it'll be a clocking of 3.
Yep. Again about the clocking?
3.
3?
Yeah, affirm 3.
And do you want different settings, though?
Affirm the full settings 3, Papa Papa Fox 6.
3 Papa Papa Fox 6.
Hey, Jess, photos. Complete.
Copy, Nick. Photos complete, and when you get a chance, you can turn your HECA back on now.
Green light. Jess, I'm thinking about timing. Want me to translate over so that we rally for my ingress, or want me to try to start cutting the lacing cords?
Okay, Nick, actually, we're going to have you stay there in the support position for a little bit. We're going to have you start to cut some of these lacing cords. But before we do that, I just want to give you a big picture on how we're looking. We're still showing you guys 15 minutes ahead on the day for both crew. EV1 MEDOX is greater than 6:30 right now, so we're in a good state. So going in game plan is we're going to get Suni the APFR cleaned up and the crew lock bag stowed again, and then we'll get her out to the work site. And then, Nick, we'll have you start to cut these lacing cords. And then as Suni starts moving out towards you, we'll get you up into ingress position.
Okay, sounds good.
So, Nick, for you, we'll have you, I have a BRT location, a handrail 3211, if you would like it. Otherwise, you're just going to put yourself in a good support position to be able to cut those lacing cords, and you'll retrieve the dyno cutters and have access to your trash bag before we start.
Copy that. And my BRT is down to 3211. There is a cable that is run across it, but there's enough slack so you can get the BRT under it without pinching the cable. It makes for a good position.
Okay, good words, thanks.
This is Mission Control Houston, where you are watching live coverage of US EVA 91, featuring NASA astronauts Nick Hague and Suni Williams, as we have just crossed over the 3-hour and 5-minute mark of their planned tasks for today. You heard communications between the two astronauts and the ground teams here inside the International Space Station Flight Control Room with Flight Director Nicole McElroy and Spacewalk Communicator Jessica Whitner, and also communications from Farouk Sabur, the Spacewalk lead officer, and giving updates on the timeline and tasks as they are approximately 15 minutes or so ahead of schedule. But right now, both of them preparing after recent activities completing the replacement of the rate gyro assembly. Number 2, the removal and replacement of a planar reflector just outside the Zenith Harmony module, the space-facing module, or port, pardon me, of the International Docking Adapter, the patches for the damaged NICER experiment, and then Nick Hague just recently completed the replacement of a C2V2 cable, a common communications for visiting vehicles communication line, to help set up for the visuals of the alpha magnetic spectrometer setup. And that is what Nick Hague is doing now, and Suni Williams will be joining him shortly. Now, this will be tasks that will preview and ultimately set up future EVAs for the ultimate upgrade that will consist of additional radiators for the alpha magnetic spectrometer to dissipate heat, as well as a silicon tracker layer that will significantly increase the data acceptance and what the spectrometer can receive on the data side. So these will be preparatory tasks of that spectrometer setup, and no current upgrades for both Williams and Hague on this current task.
Okay, copy that. You were a little broken there. I think I got the go to cut 1 through 4. And if I get those, I'll check in with you. But I've got the trash bag ready.
Affirm, that's a good readback. And just report cuts as you make them.
Copy.
And we do have your HECA camera back as well.
Piece 1 is cut in the trash bag.
Copy, Nick.
Piece 2 cut in the trash bag.
Copy, number 2, cut.
Whew. Stand by for just a sec.
Three is cut. In the trash bag.
Copy, Nick, number 3, cut, and you can go all the way through 5 and 6 if you can reach them.
Okay. Cut.
3, Papa, Papa, Fox, 11.
Copy, Sunny. We were looking for Papa, Papa, Fox, 6 if you can.
No, 6.
Piece 4 cut. In the trash bag.
Copy, Nick.
Hey, 3, Papa, Papa, Fox, 6.
Copy, Sunny. That all looks good, and just one more confirmation that you could depress that pitch knob.
Depress it, and I had to move it. It came back up again, out in the Papa spots versus the November spots. I have my crew lock bag, 2 tethers on me, not on my BRT, but it's on me, on my mini workstation. Large, small, and the integrated are both on my mini workstation.
Okay, copy, Sunny. We're going to have you, you can start your translation when you're ready. We just need you to press the cedar brakes again and verify that for us. And then we're actually going to have you just temp stow that crew lock bag on face 6 by the CETA spur so we can get you out to Nick for the AMS task.
Okay, sounds good. All right, the brakes are board of me, I think, right now. One, 2 times. That look all right?
Copy, brakes.
Before I start it off? Okay.
I think we'll be going back that way.
All right, 2 pumps.
You're looking at a live view inside the International Space Station Flight Control Room for continued coverage of US EVA 91, featuring NASA astronauts Suni Williams and Nick Hague as they continue to work down their checklist of tasks that have already had quite a bit checked off, including the replacement of the rate gyro assembly. Number 2, the removal and replacement of a planar reflector for communications for visiting vehicles, patches to a damaged portions of the NICER X-ray telescope, and now preparing for preparatory tasks for future EVAs on the alpha magnetic spectrometer and upgrades in those future EVAs for that AMS. And this is all a part of the 273rd spacewalk in support of International Space Station assembly, maintenance, and upgrades. And of that maintenance, looking back at the alpha magnetic spectrometer, that was launched back on May 16th, 2011, the penultimate or second to last space shuttle launch, in which Shuttle Endeavour would carry that up to the International Space Station on STS-134.
Okay, we copy Nick 5 and 6. That was kind of expected based on that position. So with that, we're just going to hold now until we get you guys ingress into the truss and Sunny out there. So can I get a glove and hap check from you, and then you can also stow those tools again.
The crew lock bag is on 3413. The large, small, adjustable.
And copy, Sunny. If you want to stow your PGT there as well, you can do that too.
Oh, no, you don't have your PGT on, do you, Nick?
I do not. You don't need another one, though. We don't have PGT the rest of the, even for the get ahead seat.
Is it hard to get in there with the PGT on, or is it okay? Let me ask that question.
It's over here with the PGT on?
Yeah.
It'll impede your reach a little bit, but I think from a support perspective, you'll be able to do everything.
All right, I'll just leave it on me for now. Over there.
Okay, copy, Sunny. You can. We're fine with you keeping your PGT as well if that works for you guys. You can start that translation out to meet Nick, and then Nick, once you get the gloves and hap check and then the tools stowed, we'll have you reposition outboard for that truss ingress prior to Sunny getting there.
Okay, copy.
Actually, it will take me 5 seconds. I'll take it off right now. I have a tether on the crew lock bag, but I could tether it too. No problem. Here.
So it'll make you a little smaller. You'll be able to fit into this wedge a little bit better. Yes, I've got good gloves, no change to the baseline, dry hap.
Okay, copy, Nick. And then when you're ready, you can reposition outboard, and that's just translating nadir to the phase 1, phase 2 edge, and then back zenith again along the diagonal to the trunnion pin, and then you're just going to hold there.
Okay.
And again, for both of you, we're looking good on time, so you can take your time as needed and take some photos.
Okay. And Jeff, on handrail 3208, it's a short one, right on the phase 1, phase 2 interface. There's a couple small MMOD strikes for a millimeter or so on the end.
Copy that, Nick, about the MMOD strike.
PGT is double tethered to the crew lock bag,
And copy, Sunny, about your PGT. So, Nick, for you, for those MMOD strikes, that 3208 is actually Sunny's green hook location right now. So if we could get a little bit more SA as to those MMOD strikes Are they on the side of the label or the side opposite?
Side of the label or the side opposite? I'll translate back, put eyes on it. You back with me on Hecka?
Affirm. We're back with you on Hecka.
Yeah, so you should be able to see the one right between 0 and 2 on the edge, on the label side, and then on the far end, you've got one near the fastener toward the end. Small, but they do have a bird edge. I can see that.
Okay, copy. Yeah, we're struggling to see it a little bit in your Hecka view just because of the size of them, I think, but we copy bird edge on those as well, so we might look for another handrail location for green hook. And Nick, we don't need any more
2002
info
is
there
right
too.
next to it.
So, how am I getting up there? Up.
There's a diagonal here
Okay.
with a handrail just in front of me,
Okay.
and then you'll be able to move up to the top and then back inboard.
Ready? Am I putting my green hook?
If you go back inboard to the edge of this bay,
Okay.
and you,
Have the handrail up there?
it's going to be a little bit more inboard of that. That's the one I called out the couple small MMOD strikes, though.
And Nick, Sunny, we do think
3208.
you could do.
Yeah, and you can see those little spots.
We do think you can use 3002, which is that one we use for the C2V2 routing, as your green hook location.
You're hearing live commentary from NASA astronauts Nick Hague and Suni Williams, who are currently underway for US EVA number 91, just over 3 hours and 20 minutes in, the two of them moving into position for another task on today's checklist, and that is preparatory work of the alpha magnetic spectrometer. And what they're looking at will be plans of potential future upgrades to the alpha magnetic spectrometer. And again, preparatory tasks, no upgrades on this particular EVA, as they look to have additional radiators for heat rejection and a silicone tracker layer that'll increase the data acceptance of the alpha magnetic spectrometer. And all this a part of the International Space Station assembly, maintenance, and upgrades, the 273rd spacewalk in support of those tasks.
3208, the edge of it. Not the handrail per se, but the little piece. There's a bunch of wire ties on this blind glass here.
The International Space Station currently in an orbital nighttime that they have just entered. So you see the helmet cameras from Nick Hague and Suni Williams. Hague on the left and Williams on the right as they continue to translate or move around the outside of the International Space Station to better access the alpha magnetic spectrometer.
All right, then where am I going? Let's see.
There's a long handrail right above your head, and that's going to take you up phase 2. So a little bit inboard of where you're looking. Kind of raised up, but directly, there you go. And on the zenith end of that is where that MMOD strike is. It's about 4 inches from the
I
head.
see it, yep.
Yeah, it's big.
And Sunny, we're tracking with where you put your green hook location. We're good with that for now.
I see the crew lock bag here.
Yeah, and where that large hook is for the crew lock bag, that's where I had a BRT down.
Okay. Figure out the work right there for them.
Yeah. And so you'll want to throw your feet aft, station aft, your head, keep your head kind of where it's at, and then that'll put you in a good spot to look at the patch panel.
All right, getting oriented. Hold on.
No problem. Settled, and then I'll start backing in for the ingress.
Yeah, no rush at all from our side, and I just have a caution to read. Do not kick the radiator beam launch lock or the OBSS to prevent damage.
Copy all.
Copy. You're getting the lacing cord.
Cut the first 4.
It's up here.
Yeah.
I'm looking too far back. Okay. Okay. So you put your BRT where they have this cable also.
Yeah, I just kind of snuck it under it.
Okay. Panels out. BRT's on.
And Sunny, we hear that your BRT is on,
I'm going to
so
back in, feet first.
you're in position.
Okay. So I'm going to start backing in leg first.
Okay.
And then I'm looking to ingress that spot in between us.
And Nick, before you do that, Sunny, could you identify the ACC cable?
I'm looking.
So Sonny, in the middle of the radiator beam there is a small little cable that stretches.
I have to get lower.
You gotta get lower.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, that's the ACC cable.
Okay, I got it now, Rocky.
Okay. And before Nick, before you
I spy with my own little
go
eye.
inside, Sunny, could you perform a glove and hap check? And we would like you to really inspect the gloves since you were close to that handrail. And 1 minute to a handover.
My gloves actually look all nominal. Mouth is dry.
Okay, copy that. Nick, I have a caution for you, actually for both of you. Do not contact the AMS ACC cable. Maintain clearance at all times. Do not inadvertently load any AMS cables. And avoid loading NZGLs between handrail 3002 and 3003.
Copy.
Copy.
Okay, if Sunny has a good view, Sunny, you can give a go for Nick to ingress the worksite.
Did you have a go?
Okay. Around here.
Great views and communication between NASA astronauts Nick Hague and Suni Williams during US EVA 91 currently underway. and about to hit the 3-hour and 28-minute mark. Temporary loss of signal with the ground teams here in Mission Control Houston in the International Space Station Flight Control Room, which you are seeing live views of that and awaiting that signal to return. For both Hague and Williams, they are preparing for access to the alpha magnetic spectrometer and the setup there for preparatory tasks to prepare for future EVAs on this alpha magnetic spectrometer. And those EVAs would see upgrades to the system, including additional radiators to help reject heat and an additional silicon tracking layer that'll significantly increase the data acceptance that the spectrometer can receive. To recap this EVA so far, the team has been working diligently, in fact, even a little ahead of schedule. They began with the priority task of removing and replacing the rate gyro assembly number 2, and that rate gyro assembly helping those on the ground as well as those aboard the station calculate the rotational rate and the rate of change in the orientation of the International Space Station and help better calculate overall orientation. And then the 2 astronauts would move on to tasks 2 and 3. For Suni Williams, she would complete the removal and replacement of a planar reflector used for communications and visiting vehicles just outside the international docking adapter on the zenith port of the Harmony module. That's the space-facing port currently occupied by the Crew 9 SpaceX Dragon spacecraft. As for Nick Hague, he would move on and complete tasks that would see patches for the damaged NICER experiment, the X-ray telescope aboard the International Space Station, and patching areas that were allowing unwanted sunlight to enter and prevent accurate readings. Since then, the two have since rejoined together just outside the alpha magnetic spectrometer with a couple of cable relocations of the common communications for visiting vehicles setup, and are now looking to survey the worksite and look for that preparatory tasking around the alpha magnetic spectrometer and what it can look like for future EVAs for those upgrades.
Hey, watch my head because this is going to raise me up.
Yeah, I do that. All right, don't go any higher. You're about 4 inches. Don't go any higher. Go lower now.
And tighten it up.
Low.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 2 inches. Not like that. Like looking way down.
Yeah, I'm gonna work towards you. I don't know if you guys can see it in your hefty. There's another MMOD strike. It's right on AMS. I don't think it interferes with the work volume.
Copy, yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to angle towards you. Like this. Okay, so what's my helmet clearance
Well,
now?
stop. You're about 2 inches.
Okay.
That's better, a little bit, 4 inches.
Okay.
And then, Nick, once you're there, we've also been using a mini workstation end effector to that left handrail, kind of right where your hand is, to kind of hold myself there against the BRT.
Yeah. In place.
When you come this way, you're away from that cable.
Yeah.
You're more away.
Trying to get away from it.
And for both your SA, the AMS radiator that's kind of closest to Nick's helmet right now is okay to have some incidental contact. We just don't want to really bang into it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Those dyno cutters
Dyno cutters?
are what we're after next.
Yep, A-firm, we're looking for the dyno cutters and a trash bag, and then you guys can work together on that to cut the rest of these lacing cords. And Sunny, while you're getting that out, I do have a warning for both of you. There's a sharp edge hazard, so exercise caution and refrain from touching the exposed metal and edge of the AMS patch panel itself. So it's once it's exposed, the metal edge is sharp, and then avoid zip tie sharp edges once we get to that point.
Metal one is the dyno cutter, right?
Yeah, the big scissor looking one. Yeah.
Oh. Sorry.
All good. And
Do we need a trash bag for this?
yeah, these will pull out threads. I got. That one's blind. I can't. You put your eyes on that better to be able to cut it. Back away, give you some helmet space. This one right there.
And Nick, Sunny, we know some of these are kind of blind reaches since and they are the same when we did them in the pool. So you might just have to feel around for it with the dyno cutters.
Okay. Try that. Let's create some space with it with these others first.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was exactly what we were going to recommend as well. Might be helpful to cut the rest and then get those last.
I'm trying to get my trash bag out. Hold on.
You're looking live at the helmet cam of NASA astronaut Nick Hague, working in close proximity with his partner for US EVA 91 today, Suni Williams, as they look to release some ties that are holding down cloth covering a patch panel of the alpha magnetic spectrometer. This is one of several tasks for the two. Many have been completed already as they release some of these ties, the two working together to look at potential future upgrades and availability and upgrade plans to help inform future EVAs for the alpha magnetic spectrometer. Now 3 hours and 36 minutes into today's EVA, and all plans and all tasks have been moving along nominally and as scheduled, as Nick Hague and Suni Williams continue to operate on this International Space Station upgrade and task, and preparing for future upgrades of the AMS, or alpha magnetic spectrometer.
Oh, nice.
there's two pieces there.
At 9?
That's 9. Eyes on my helmet.
That?
I said keep eyes on my helmet so I don't drift up too high.
Great views from the helmet cams of NASA astronaut Nick Hague on the left, EV1, and NASA astronaut Suni Williams, EV2. As together they continue to work to loosen the ties around the beta cloth covering a panel on the alpha magnetic spectrometer. And once inside, they will take a look at the spectrometer and survey for potential future EVA plannings for upgrades that'll see additional radiators installed for dispersion of heat, as well as increasing its ability to receive data from its experiments. Now 3 hours and 41 minutes into today's EVA, and everything so far has gone expected, even so much so as having the team of Hague and Williams get a little bit ahead of schedule, and that includes replacing the rate gyro assembly number 2, the removal and replacing of a planar reflector to help with visiting vehicle communications when they approach and dock with the International Space Station, patching the damaged NICER experiment, an X-ray telescope on the International Space Station that was seeing unwanted light enter the experiment, and those patches have been completed, and now both Williams and Hague working together on the alpha magnetic spectrometer.
Okay, Jeff, there's some surprise connections here.
Copy. Nick, what are you seeing?
So you want to do these ones over here?
Where I took out 9, looks like it is peers below it as well. That's an additional one, I guess, below position 8. And then 7 I took out, but there's another one at the corner between 7 and 8.
You see it with my Heka?
And Nick, just to confirm, obviously that little square patch of beta cloth, we're not trying to take off, just the joint between the two. Yep, exactly what you're pointing out. So those other ties that you're seeing are preventing the beta cloth we're trying to take off from being moved.
Affirmative.
Copy.
Affirmative.
Okay, well, if they are preventing it, you have a go to cut those as well.
Okay. Ended up cutting the beta cloth on that one, so there's no, the lace is still there, but it's not holding anything. And the lace is still together.
Copy, understood, and we are fine with that config.
These two over here you need to get.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this piece that's right here. Piece. Doesn't really go anywhere. Know if you can get that. Okay, so that's released. That's released. And unfold all that beta cloth. I need to get this one.
Oh, nice.
It's blind.
Come on.
Pull that up just a little. It's not going to come all the way off because of this last one.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to underneath it.
Go between.
That's it.
Yeah. You're on the clock.
Okay. Higher. That's it.
Off.
Just grab that and pull.
Oh, yeah. Try it from here.
Yeah, give it a shot. I'm shooting in the blind here.
What's that?
I said I'm just in the blind completely.
Yeah.
Lift that up. Does that help you? Down out of the way a little.
So piece them off. The little teeny piece there now. Come on. Up.
There you go.
Nice work. We were all cheering you guys on down here.
Teamwork.
Okay.
I don't know if that knot will come out.
I think there's one more on the back side. It kind of ties the whole thing together.
It is. That's nice.
Yeah. Put a hand on my helmet. Yeah.
Hey. Surgery. We need the other cutters next.
The zip tie cutters. Wrap these up.
Awesome. We're tracking now that the beta cloth is free. So, yep, next step is going to be the zip tie cutters. And then, Nick, if you need to secure the beta cloth back, you can use a shorter long wire tie. If you don't, and it'll stay back, you can just leave it without.
Okay, I'm going to try to go without. And as we get into some areas, we may need to install it.
Copy. Sounds good.
Okay.
Now, how do we want to grab this?
Yeah. And where am I at?
We want to do those three right there, right?
Yeah, there is one below, but that's got some orange wire in it. It's not the white wire, patch panel wire. I don't think I want to get that. So, Jess, I'm going to try to put it in the Hague.
I think it's only this one, and that one. These three.
That one, that one, that one.
Yeah. This one puts two bundles together, and this separates the bundles.
Yep. Can you guys see the wire tie config?
Yeah, A-Firm, Nick, and Sunny, what you guys just pointed to, those three blue zip ties are the ones that you want to cut.
Good.
All right, when you cut with that, is it going to stick to that thing?
It does. It captures it.
NASA astronauts Nick Hague and Suni Williams continue to work diligently on a patch panel connected to the alpha magnetic spectrometer as a part of today's U.S. EVA 91 tasks as they look to free up ties. They just moved out of the way a beta cloth to allow access to this patch panel just a few moments ago. Now 3 hours and 52 minutes into today's EVA, and all tasks for both Hague and Williams have gone right on schedule. In fact, so much so they are a little bit ahead of schedule, but continuing to work on this patch panel and look at the alpha magnetic spectrometer and do preparatory tasks in preparation for future work. And that includes pulling back the beta cloth as mentioned, and then we'll be testing access to various connectors within the alpha magnetic spectrometer, and that'll inform future upgrades that allow for both more data and higher accuracy measurements, as well as greater dispersion of heat as exposed to sunlight. The International Space Station is currently wrapping up a time period of orbital nighttime. They'll be entering daytime here in the next few moments as both Nick Hague and Suni Williams continue to diligently work together and showcase teamwork on this task for the AMS.
Nice.
Wire ties down. Trash bag. Okay. That.
All right, we see the zip ties cut and Sunny back in the kulak bag. You're going to stow that zip tie cutter and then pull out the connector tool simulator and the EVA GoPro.
It worked.
Just for your awareness, in terms of being able to see the patch panel, I can read the numbers on column 1, 2 rows on column 2 and get most of the 4th and 5th columns.
Okay, copy that, Nick. And then if you have any words on how you got into the body position that you are in just for future crews, and you could just reassess your body position there to be able to reach all of these connectors. The furthest column from you only has one connector that we need to go after.
Understand. As I am right now, I'm pretty much aligned. Feels like I'm aligned Mater Zenith, and I do just have the BRT up and over the I-beam onto that handrail. The angle is weird, so my BRT actually is at a 45-degree onto that handrail. That makes it reach without pulling me too close and too high.
I have the GoPro on to sort of take a look at it.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm getting it, but I'm...
Yeah. Want to pass it to me, and I can get some video over here, too.
I think it's on.
Yeah, I saw that flashing. Okay. Cool. All the connections look good. We did to the beta cloth. Position. Here's the camera. Next together. It's coming back toward you. The ret is locked out. Pulling up my stuff list.
To get you overall so they could see.
Body position. And make sure you can get my clearance in like this position, my clearance above me.
Cable is way in there, so you're...
I'm a long ways away from it.
Yep.
And I can see daylight between my helmet and radiator beam just in my shadow.
Yep. I keep taking GoPro while you're doing this?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the connector tool.
And hey, Nick, before we do that, we were just talking on the ground. We're looking at where the beta cloth is, kind of on the edge of the patch panel there, on that furthest column from you. And we just want to make sure, is that beta cloth going to interfere with being able to put the connector tool on one of the connectors in that column, like perpendicular to the panel? If it is, we can pull one of the other lacing cords to try to move that further away.
Yeah, if I'm looking at the cheat sheet here, all the things that are, the one I'm going after, the Echo 1 Bravo 1, you should be able to get to. The beta cloth will move out of the way. There's compliance. There's a lot of compliance in the beta cloth. If you were trying to do that far one, I guess it'd be row 1, column 6. That might be more difficult, and we'd have to cut more. We can cut more if you want. We're here.
Okay, Nick, just stand by. We're going to talk it over. We might want you to cut a little bit more.
Okay. Hang out.
Will that little piece come off? Yes.
That first tie. Oh, this one right here? No, what happened was the beta cloth cut.
Oh.
And they released the one that was below it, and this one is...
I'm going to turn this off for a second.
Okay.
And Nick, Suni, we do have a request. We'd like you to make it to where we can access all of the connectors on a future EVA. So that beta cloth, if we need to cut one more lacing cord, let's do that now.
Okay. We'll give it a go.
Thanks.
Not a problem.
Coming off.
Okay.
Fantastic communication there between NASA astronauts Nick Hague and Suni Williams as we continue live with our coverage.